Forza Horizon 6 is officially on the horizon.
Pun absolutely intended.
And it's coming in 2026, which means Xbox and PC players have almost a year and a half to stock up on Red Bull, argue on Reddit about whether the map will include Tokyo or Timbuktu, and practice
Pretending their Honda Civic is a Ferrari.
Microsoft and Playground Games are promising another massive open-world racing adventure, the kind of game that looks so realistic you'll feel guilty crashing into some poor digital farmer's market stall while blasting EDM
Like it's a Fast and Furious audition tape.
But while Xbox and PC fans are revving their engines, PlayStation players are once again stuck on the sidewalk, staring at the Forza parade like kids locked outside Disneyland watching Mickey Mouse wave at everyone else. This is not new, this is not shocking, it's Microsoft's favorite hobby, right up there with raising Xbox console prices and laying off entire departments just to buy off another gaming studio. Forza Horizon as the franchise has always been the cooler younger sibling in the racing game family, the one who doesn't stress about lap times or fuel management but instead says,
"Hey, let's drift off a mountain while a DJ yells motivational nonsense over the radio."
It's part simulation, part playground, all set to make your GPU scream for mercy. And now with Forza Horizon 6, fans are expecting playground games to push the formula even further. Bigger maps, crazier cars, more seasonal changes, and probably at least one DLC that will make no sense but everyone will buy anyway, like Barbie's Malibu Highway or the return of Thomas the Tank Engine. Microsoft knows this franchise prints money, which is why they fiercely guard it. Even as the hype builds for Xbox and PC, there's this constant nagging deja vu that PlayStation players can't shake. Because when 2026 arrives, they know they won't be behind the wheel. They'll be standing outside the garage watching from a distance, probably arguing about Gran Turismo's refined realism,
While secretly wishing they could crash a Bugatti into a cactus at 200 miles per freaking hour.
And sure, maybe Microsoft will eventually port Forza Horizon 6 to PlayStation 5 like they did with Horizon 5, but if history repeats itself,
Eventually is called for so long you'll grow a beard waiting.
this isn't a launch announcement, it's deja vu with a side of corporate gatekeeping. Forza Horizon 6 is currently slated for a 2026 release, and while Microsoft hasn't nailed down the exact month, fans are already filing forums with wish lists and wild predictions. Because nothing says gamer culture like grown adults fighting about whether the map should include Tokyo, Rio, or some countryside town no one has ever heard of but insists would be
Perfect for immersion.
Playground Games, the studio behind the series, has a reputation for crafting worlds so massive and detailed that you feel guilty treating them like your personal demolition derby. But let's be honest, the chaos is half the point. There is something poetic about a game that lets you drive a multi-million-dollar supercar through mud, flip it off a cliff, and then just reset like you didn't commit vehicular manslaughter 5 seconds ago. And fans wouldn't have it any other way. What makes Forza Horizon unique is the balance between realism and arcade fun. It's not Gran Turismo where
You spend 15 minutes adjusting your tire pressure before the race starts, and it's not Mario Kart where you get blue shelled by your grandmother.
Forza, in my opinion, is the middle ground, the Goldilocks of racing games, giving you physics that feel authentic enough to impress your car-obsessed friend but forgiving enough that even your clumsy cousin can pull off a drift and feel like a freaking pro. It's that beautiful, sweet spot that makes the franchise universally appealing, and it's why each new entry feels like an event. Horizon 6 is set to double down on that formula with bigger maps, more dynamic events, and enough cars to make Jay Leno sweat. And while most racing games stick to tracks or small arenas, Forza Horizon lets you drive anywhere your tiny digital heart desires. Dirt roads, freeways, mountain passes, or just straight into a vineyard because you missed a turn. Nothing is off limits. That sense of freedom is what keeps players coming back because it turns every race into a story. 1 second you're competing in a tense sprint against rivals, and the next you're side questing by seeing if you can jump over a barn without breaking your freaking car. Horizon isn't just a racing game, it's a sandbox where chaos is encouraged. Playground Games has turned car culture into a party, and Forza Horizon 6 is shaping up to be the next all-nighter. Of course, with every sequel comes the promise of upgrades, and Forza Horizon 6 is expected to crank up the realism even further with better weather systems, sharper graphics, and even more interactive crowds.
Although let's be honest, nobody cares about the virtual bystanders cheering at the finish line.
What players want is spectacle, the kind of jaw-dropping stunts and photorealistic cars that make you question if you should just buy a steering wheel setup and call it an investment. And knowing Playground Games, that's exactly what we're going to get. Another game so pretty, so absurdly massive it will make your console sound like it's trying to take off
Into orbit.
The hype is real, the expectations are massive, and for Xbox and PC players, the countdown has begun.
It's the final countdown. Oh, sorry, guys.
But hidden beneath all that excitement is a familiar frustration because we know how Microsoft plays this game. They dangle the shiny keys in front of Xbox players while PlayStation fans gets the middle finger, and even though we'll all drool at the trailers and marvel at the visuals, half the gaming community will be waiting outside the gates. Noses pressed against the glass while everyone else speeds by in their digital freaking Lamborghinis. Forza Horizon 6 will absolutely be a technical and creative showcase, but at launch it's going to be yet another reminder of who gets to have fun first and who's left on the curb with
Gran Turismo.
Now let's talk about Microsoft's absolute snail-pace approach to porting Forza Horizon 5 to PlayStation, because that's where deja vu starts kicking in. The game launched back in 2021 on Xbox and PC, and PlayStation players had to sit there twiddling their thumbs watching gameplay clips on YouTube while pretending Gran Turismo was scratching the same itch.
Spoiler alert, it freaking wasn't.
Then after almost 4 freaking years where entire gaming trends came and went, where Elden Ring rose and Baldur's Gate 3 conquered, where even Among Us had time to peak, die and ironically resurrect, Microsoft finally dropped Forza Horizon 5 on PlayStation 5 like a long forgotten Amazon package showing up on your freaking doorstep.
At that point, it wasn't even a port, it was an archaeological artifact.
The whole process basically highlighted Microsoft's pattern. They know Forza Horizon is a cash cow, but they treat it like a rare wine that must age before handing it to PlayStation players. And by aging, I mean they make everyone wait so long that half the community moves on. Sure, when it finally arrives, PlayStation fans celebrate, but it's like being invited to a party 4 years later. The cake is stale, balloons are deflated, and everyone else has already moved to the after party. That's not generosity, it's corporate
procrastination disguised as strategy.
Now, fast forward to Forza Horizon 6 and we're seeing the same game of keep away play out. Microsoft announces the shiny new entry, teases the features, flexes the cars, hypes the release for 2026. And then quietly confirms that PlayStation 5 players won't get it at launch.
Oh no instant gratification for you, Sony crowd. You'll have to wait again just like the freaking last time.
Maybe it will be 2 years, maybe it will be 4, maybe it will be never, and the only thing you will get is Phil Spencer waving from an Xbox-shaped parade float. Guys, here is the irony. Microsoft constantly claims they're building bridges and breaking down barriers in gaming. And yes, Game Pass is a nice step toward that, but when it comes to flagship exclusives like Forza Horizon, those bridges look suspiciously like toll roads. Sure, you can cross, but only after you've been milked for every subscription fee, console purchase and microtransaction they can squeeze out of you. And that's where the frustration freaking grows, not because PlayStation players feel entitled to Forza at launch, but because Microsoft keeps dangling the carrot and then pulling it back like a bad magician. If you're going to port the game eventually, why not do it at release? Why force everyone to suffer the waiting game? The whole charade reeks of corporate strategy over consumer joy. And that's why the Forza Horizon 6 porting saga is already shaping up to be the same comedy of errors as Horizon 5. Now to be fair guys, okay, this is just me being fair. I get why Microsoft is doing this. Keeping Forza Horizon 6 locked to Xbox and PC at launch is their way of trying to sell more consoles and push Game Pass subscriptions. It's basic business logic. Exclusivity builds demand, demand pushes sales, and suddenly the Xbox brand doesn't feel like the awkward cousin in the console wars anymore. If you want to experience the shiniest, fastest, most ridiculous racing sandbox on the planet, you have to play it on Microsoft's turf first.
From their sorry guys.
From their perspective, it makes sense, but let's not sugarcoat it. This is still a greedy move. Everyone knows it. See guys, exclusivity can make sense for brand identity. Sony does it with God of War, Nintendo does it with Mario, and Microsoft does it with Forza Horizon. Fair enough. But here is the difference. While Sony and Nintendo have their own flagship games that never leave their consoles, Microsoft loves to dangle the promise of cross-platform eventually. It's like dating someone who keeps saying,
"We'll make it official someday,"
But you're stuck introducing them as a friend for 4 years.
Either commit to exclusivity or just release it everywhere. The half-step strategy is the most frustrating part because it creates a cycle of hype, bitterness, and eventual disappointment. And don't forget, Microsoft has been on a bit of a financial scavenger hunt lately. 2 Xbox price hikes in 1 year? Check. Thousands of layoffs that left entire departments gutted? Check. The optics aren't great, so when they turn around and say,
"By the way, PlayStation players can't join in on Forza Horizon 6 until we feel like it,"
the move doesn't come across as strategy, it comes across as corporate greed with a smile. It's less about platform pride and more about wringing every penny out of loyal fans before letting the freaking competition touch the shiny toy. Plus, let's not forget there's also competition looming, but not in the way Microsoft thinks. Gamers today have more options than ever, with massive RPGs, cozy life simulators, and blockbuster shooters all fighting for freaking attention. Even though Forza Horizon sits comfortably in its own racing genre, the audience's focus is more fragmented than ever. Locking out half the player base at launch risks losing cultural momentum. Imagine if Baldur's Gate 3 had launched only on Xbox for the first 4 years. By the time it reached everyone else, the hype would have been reduced to dust. Ultimately, I can understand Microsoft's logic, but I don't have to like it. It's exclusivity for the sake of financial padding, not for the benefit of players. And while yes, this move might pump Xbox numbers in the short term, it risks alienating a huge swath of gamers who are sick of waiting years for the same experience. If Microsoft really wants to present itself as the player-first company it loves to pretend to be, Forza Horizon 6 should be the moment they finally cut the nonsense and put the game everywhere on day one. But knowing their track record?
I'm not exactly holding my breath.
Okay guys, please allow me to give you my honest take. Firstly, I think Forza Horizon 6 looks incredible and I am genuinely excited to see where Playground Games take the franchise next. The visuals will probably melt eyes, the cars will likely feel better than ever, and the world design will be another love letter to digital reality, especially since it's set in Japan, where a lot of people's childhood memories were born, from Fast and Furious Tokyo Drift all the way to Midnight Club Remix. For all the roasting, I can't deny that Forza Horizon 6 consistently delivers some of the most fun, accessible, and jaw-dropping racing experiences in gaming. That's why the exclusivity issue stings so much, because on one hand you want to celebrate what Playground is building, on the other you're reminded that Microsoft is holding the keys to the garage as hostage. If Microsoft were smart, they'd release Forza Horizon 6 on PlayStation 5 right alongside Xbox and PC. Why you ask? Because ironically it could still help their platform in the long run. A PlayStation gamer who falls in love with Forza Horizon might be tempted to try Xbox or Game Pass to stay caught up with the franchise. It's the same logic that led Sony to put games like Horizon Zero Dawn on PC. Let's be real, it wasn't charity, it was bait, and it worked. The player base grew and the hype snowballed. Microsoft could play the same card here, but instead they're sticking to the wait your turn school of marketing. I'll give credit where it's due. Forza Horizon games have a track record of being worth the wait. If the same holds true here, PlayStation 5 players will eventually get something spectacular. But as I've mentioned, the key word is eventually, and eventually doesn't pay off the hype. Eventually doesn't keep fans excited. Eventually is Microsoft's favorite word, and it's wearing thin. In an industry that thrives on community and shared experiences, cutting half the audience out of the launch cycle feels tone deaf at best and hostile at worst. So yes, I am hyped for Forza Horizon 6, but I am also rolling my eyes at Microsoft's tired playbook. This is a franchise that deserves to be celebrated across platforms at the same time, not wrinkled out years later like a half-hearted apology. Microsoft keeps saying that they want to grow gaming, but right now it feels like they're just growing their bank account. And if they keep pushing this strategy, the only thing players will grow is more resentment every time they see that Forza Horizon 6 trailer drop with Xbox and PC only at the bottom. So here we are guys, Forza Horizon 6, the next big racing spectacle, set to roar onto Xbox and PC in 2026, while PlayStation fans once again get to play the world's saddest waiting game. Microsoft wants you hyped, they want you hooked, but only on their terms and only after they've wrung every last dime from their own ecosystem first. It's exclusivity dressed as strategy, but underneath it's just plain old corporate greed. And yet, honestly guys, it's impossible not to be excited. Forza Horizon 6 is shaping up to be another landmark in open world racing. A playground of chaos, beauty, and absurd stunts that will keep Xbox and PC players busy for years. It's the kind of game that turns digital car crashes into art, the kind of experience that makes even casual players feel like they're behind the wheel of something extraordinary. Playground games continue to deliver, and the game itself deserves all the praise in the world, but the business around it, that's where the roast writes itself. The message is simple and clear. Microsoft doesn't need to lock this down. They don't need to drag PlayStation
Fans? Sorry guys.
Fans through years of waiting. Forza Horizon 6 has the potential to unite players across platforms, not divide them. And if history is any guide, we already know how this trip ends. Xbox and PC get to cruise off into the sunset while PlayStation players stand on the curb holding their controllers muttering,
Maybe next time.
It's honestly one hell of a freaking strategy, but it's one that feels like flat tire waiting to happen. What do you guys think? Should Microsoft do the same thing with Forza Horizon 5, which they'll do anyways, or should they embrace the united gaming culture and release it on all consoles? Drop your thoughts in the comments below as I'll be reading and embracing each one of them. And guys, Thank you once again for watching the video. If you enjoyed it, please consider leaving a like and subscribing for more content in the future. Take care, and I'll see you in the next one.